Hello, and welcome to another trigger tutorial. Do you love casting god powers? Do you love causing damage, destruction and mayhem? But don't you find the god powers in their normal form a little disappointing at times? I mean, let me show you how weak and pathetic they are. A little bit of damage on the buildings, not that much going on. Let's try see if we do any better with the Undermine. I mean, yes, we knock out a few towers, but as you can see, there are plenty around standing still. And wouldn't it be nice if we just demolished them all with our powers? The reason for these two powers not doing havoc is due to a damage limit that is imposed by the game. However, I'm going to show you, using Y triggers, how to bypass that limit and cause maximum destruction. These two powers have different ways of their damage being limited. The Lightning Storm will stop striking after a certain amount of damage being dealt. The Undermine, which you saw, tends to continue showing the effect but not deal any damage. Let's start with modifying the Lightning Storm. The first thing we want to do is to trick the game into thinking that it hasn't actually dealt any damage, and therefore the bolts will carry on striking. We can do this using a simple modify proto unit trigger to modify the lightning strike to deal 0 damage. So we can use the modify proto unit absolute player range, and we can change the lightning strike player 1 to deal no attack of any of the types. So we can send the hand attack to 0, the range attack, the hand attack pierce, and the hand attack crush. There we go, so we've got all three of these now set to 0. This will make the lightning strike repeatedly. I'll show you that quickly. However, as you can see, it now deals no damage whatsoever, but we get plenty of bolts. So the next step is to actually make these deal some damage. We can do this using a search. Just set it up quickly. So as usual, we want to put the start search, and then we're going to condition. Now we need to condition on one of the units of the god powers. You'd think I would condition on the lightning strike. However, what you might notice is when the lightning strikes, it does not go vertically down. It comes from the sky and often comes at an angle between the sky and the ground. Which means if we use the lightning strike, it will actually center slightly off center to where we want. However, we can use a different object, which is the lightning sparks, which is where the lightning actually strikes the ground. Once we've got that, we can now add a damage units in area effect. So we can damage the player 2 houses, or we'll just do building, and we can change the radius of this. So if we want to give it large area damage, we can put a large radius, but I'm just going to keep the radius at 5, and let's deal lots of damage. Alright, we just need to end the condition and end the search. Let's give this a run. Ultimate power. As you can see, we've knocked out the entire village with that one lightning storm. Let's have a look at making Undermine a little bit more exciting. We can use a similar trick with the Undermine. We don't need to change the unit that gets produced because despite the fact it did no damage, the unit carries on spawning, it just doesn't do anything. So all we need to do is a similar check for the unit. In this case, it's the wall connector destruction effect that you see. And again, we can just damage the units in the area, end the the condition, end the search, and shift the search to the bottom. So now we've got both of the god powers dealing the damage. Let's give it a go. Alright, let's bring out the destruction. One thing to note with Undermine is it might not work how you think. When you cast it, it actually travels in a direction towards the building away from your cursor and carry on. So if I cast here, it will go all the way across to the left and destroy everything in its path. As you can see, this is a much more enhanced version of Undermine that will continue destructing until the god power ends. Much more exciting. Hopefully you find this useful and have fun creating death and destruction in your maps, and keep a lookout for further Trigger tutorials. Have a great day, everyone.